Hello there, YouTube. It's your boy B3 back with another kicking movie reaction review. As promised, today's film is Dracula's Daughter, the sequel to Universal's original Dracula film. Yes, and it's pretty good. Pretty underrated, actually. It is a direct sequel to Dracula. It literally picks off right where the first film leaves off. Right after Van Helsing puts a stake through Dracula, and his daughter hears he's dead, comes to see the body, etc. And she is hoping that his death means she is free of the vampire's curse. But she is not. She still needs to feed, but she is desperate to be rid of it. Like, Dracula himself saw it as a curse. But he kind of rolled with it. She is not really rolling with it. She is actively going against it. But, she still gives in to her more evil nature throughout the film. It's actually very good. So, Dracula was kind of the first real American horror film. Like, when Dracula was made, lots of people thought it couldn't be done, that it would be too much for audiences, etc. And Carl Laemmle Jr. was real adamant that it would work out, and he was right. He did start a huge monster boom by producing Dracula. But Daughter of Dracula is very different, because the original Dracula, it's not an adaptation of the book. It's an adaptation of the stage play, so it all basically takes place in one sitting room, as a play would often do. But this movie has several different locations, takes place in multiple countries. It kind of goes backwards the way Dracula did. Remember, Dracula started in Transylvania, and then he went to London. This one starts in London and goes to Transylvania. But I'm actually surprised they made a Dracula's Daughter before Son of Dracula. That's very interesting. I actually thought Dracula's daughter was a very cool character. I'd rather like an action figure of her. But she, you remember Dracula would always feed on women because there was this kind of sexual thing that went along with it. It was kind of sexual. Well, Dracula's daughter's first victim in this movie is male. But her second victim in this movie is a woman who has slipped her straps down and is showing her shoulders, and it's there's this sexual tension there between two women in a movie in the 30s, and I can't believe that made it to the theaters. I honestly can't. And the crazier part, they actually show that scene in the trailer, and people still flocked to see it. Wow! Oh man, I can't believe that there was a scene with sexual tension between two women. There's actually a scene later that has kind of a sexual angle to it between two women as well, when she's about to feed on another woman, but is stopped. And it's very cool. She has this creepy manservant. She's promised him that she would make him a vampire if he served her, and all this stuff, and it's very good. She's so desperate to not be evil that it makes her evil. It's very cool. Edward Van Sloan is still in the film as Van Helsing. He does a good job. He's on trial during the movie because he killed a man, an undead man, but he won't plead insane, but insists it was a vampire. But then eventually they do kind of prove the existence of vampires to the head of Scotland Yard. So, by the end of the film, you feel like Professor Van Helsing got off on his murder charge, but they never show it happening because there's just not time for it, because the movie's not about him. But yeah, Dracula's Daughter, actually pretty cool. I really, really enjoyed it. It does feel like a really good sequel for Dracula. Uh, and next time, we will be reviewing the sequel to that, Son of Dracula, starring the Lon Chaney Jr. That's absolutely going to happen, my friends. That's absolutely going to happen. So yeah, I'm actually going to watch that right now and prepare the review. And then the next review you see will be Son of Dracula. But final thoughts on Dracula's Daughter. Good film. I really liked it. Kind of progressive a little bit, in some ways. Just a little bit. But the movie did not play it safe, and I really appreciate that. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And definitely stick around, hit that notification bell for more monster movie reviews.